Hello and welcome to today's edition of Your Questions Answered with Father Gruner. We take your questions, Father Gruner answers them, we have discussions about them. Continue, please, to send us your questions at questions@thefatimacenter.com. You send them via email, should be on the screen here, questions@thefatimacenter.com. We've been dealing with a question of about does the Pope even know that he is under obligation to consecrate Russia? Does he understand the importance of it? And one of the parts of this question was, is it possible that the mail that we send to the Pope is being intercepted and thrown out?
Well, first of all, the obligation, of course, is on the Pope. As I've written in my book, it's under pain of mortal sin for him not to do this. Or at least if he can't do it, then to do whatever he can do to make it happen for his successor. So I don't think the Pope knows that he has this obligation. I don't think he knows it's necessary. If you don't want to save 2/3 of the world's population, there's 7 billion people. Well, it's estimated that 2/3 of them will be blown up in this war to come. And in a very quick order. It can only be stopped by the consecration. This annihilation of nations. Nothing else will stop it. So, does the Pope know? I don't think he knows. The second thing is, well, what can you do about it? Well, of course you can write a letter to him. But they say, well, why should I write a letter to him? Because maybe they'll take the letter and throw it out. And so that's quite possible. In fact, they mentioned Cardinal Bertone will keep anything from the Pope for consecrating Russia. Now, Cardinal Bertone, of course, has been replaced on October 15th as Secretary of State. However, I'm sure he's a very powerful man still. But, the Secretary of State, the anti-Fatima forces around the Pope certainly have the gatekeepers have the access to the Pope. So if they won't give him a letter, they won't give him a message, they won't. But this Pope, of course, makes it his business to be accessible. So if we go to St. Peter's Square, if we place ourselves to be able to talk to him, then we can say, Holy Father, consecrate Russia. And and if one person does it, he might not register with him because he's a busy man. He's distracted with many different things. But if 2 people, 3 people, 5 people, 500 people do that, then it'll be harder for him to. And then, of course, if you can give him something in writing to say why this is important. Now, we have literature, so you can go to Rome. We have friends in Rome. So if you want to send stuff to us to get to the Pope, we can do our best to get it to him. I would, for example, for all our petitions, when we send in thousands and thousands of petitions to him, we keep a copy of that petition so that if it gets thrown away, we still can publish the fact that we gave in so many thousands. So we can send this in by his personal emails. We can also send it in by paper. We also publicize it in our own journals. We also have a TV station in Rome, so to be able to talk and say, well, we gave in 500 petitions. We gave in 50 letters. We have a copy of these letters, and so if the Pope didn't get them, by all means, he can ask us for them. So we can make it public knowledge that these letters are there, and we have a copy of them if he doesn't get them. So if you can't get through the Pope, if you give us a copy of it, we can at least put it on record, the day we got it, and the fact that you say you sent it to the Pope. If you want us to give one copy in to him through the channels we know, and keep the other copy, so even if our channels don't work, is another way. But the Pope has to know that you want this. You have to, and if you want us to have friends of ours give it to the Pope as he's in St. Peter's Square, give him packages, then we can note it down, keep a record of it, and publicize that fact if he's not responding after a while.
Well, I think it's important too, because after so many years of petitioning the Vatican and in a certain sense feeling that we're getting nowhere.
Yes.
There is the temptation to just despair and just to give up. But I think, we know that St. Joan of Arc said, it's for the soldiers will do the fighting and God will give the victory.
Yes.
And so I think on our part, we just have to keep petitioning, keep
fighting,
fighting,
but using all the means we can.
Every legitimate means we can use to talk about the importance of whatever you talked about at Fatima.
The TV station is there in Rome. We have people on the air appealing directly. It's one person in front of a camera speaking to the Pope. We have hundreds of them, and put them on the air, appealing to the Pope, please do the consecration. Everyone has their own style. Everyone has their own way of putting it. Some people are more emphatic on one thing, one another. That's why we have these programs there. So if people want to make us a video of their saying, what I want to say to the Pope, and send us a copy of the video, we can put on the air in Rome.
Yes. So this is an important work to do, and the question started with the problem of the Pope's mail being intercepted, and we just try to leap over that interception.
Yes. By the TV, by the internet, and our TV in Rome, so that they can get it. Any cardinal, bishop, priest, any layperson in Rome can get our TV station.
I understand too, according to the way you were tracking things, that when we had our conferences, you could tell that they were watching it. People were watching it in the Vatican.
Yes, well, in fact, what they call the IP, or the internet provider, everyone has an address, and so when we were broadcasting, we were in Rome. We were broadcasting, all the speeches. Our IT guys, our technology guys, could tell that the Vatican, people in the Vatican, 2 different addresses in the Vatican were watching our conference going on. So they certainly know who we are, but of course, I'm wondering if poor Mr. DiCarli came to our conference in 2010, and he said on the air, so they could see it, they, meaning the Vatican, could have deceived him. He was dead within 2 months.
Yes.
He was the co-author of the book with Cardinal Bertone. The bottom line is that we just have to keep at it, and God has to give the victory. Our Lady has to give the victory. It's their
But the soldiers keep fighting.
That's right,
Yeah.
yes.
So thank you, and we will be back tomorrow with another program.